Okay, the first bubble will be for you, Anthony.
森高、高木くんが迎えに来てるわよ。早くしなさい。So it's like saying, hey, Moritaka, Takagi-kun has like come and going to meet you. Um, hurry up and do your thing. Hurry up, please.
Perfect. Hurry up. No, please. Just your mom ordering you
Okay.
around. Ha? What? Shout. Zit. Which I believe he's just saying like annoying there. Ohayo, Psycho. Good morning, Psycho. And next bubble will be for you, Anthony.
その最高も朝いきなり、朝いきなり迎えに来るのもやめてくない。That cycle, um, in this asai kinari. I don't know what asai kinari is.
It's basically meaning like from right when the morning has started. It's basically what it says.
I see. This early in the morning, please stop saying psycho this early in the morning when you come to see me.
Exactly. Specifically, it's more like, uh, so he's basically saying, stop coming to see me and stop calling me psycho. Just specifically, it's psycho and the asakiri no mukae. So these are the mo's over
Uh,
here. So he says, please stop coming over to visit me in the morning and calling me psycho. That's what they would split up. いいじゃん、最高も俺のことシュートって呼べよ。仲のいいやつはそう呼んでる。He says, isn't it fine? Psycho, you can also call me Shuto. That's what the people who get along with me call me. And next bubble for you.
あ、森高を最高って呼ぶのと、秋人をシュートって呼ぶのは少し違く、違
ね。
くね。うん。森高を秋人をシュート。It's a bit different when you call Moritaka Saito and Asato Akito Shuto.
はい、perfect. んどう違うんだよ How is it different? シュートは坂のイメージでなんかかっこいい。シュート kind of gives up the vibe of like soccer players and kind of feels, cool. サイコはバカにされる感じ。Psycho feels like you're making fun of somebody. Psycho, psycho. Next bubble is for you.
わかった。じゃあ、俺は、囚人、囚人、囚人って呼ぶわ。
Mm.
Okay, I understand. 俺は囚人、call me 囚人 then call me 囚人。
That's a really good guess. So the problem with wa is that it's not always a replacement of ga. In this
Okay.
context, it's not replacing the ga. He's basically saying, "I will call you," is what he's saying here. So
ah,
versus what we saw earlier, which was the other thing. It actually is probably it is ga here because if you're saying I would call someone blank, you wouldn't use yobu 'cause that's to call. So it is replacing ga, but I could see why the confusion came up because you're thinking like, oh, the subject of calling, but it's the subject of who is calling because yobu means to call. Who call? I call. I call blank shujin. And shujin, 犯罪者かよ. It's like, shujin, what am I? A criminal? Because shujin can mean criminal.
主人公。
Hi, hi. Next bubble is for you again.
いいじゃん。人ってそうも、そうも読めるじゃん。主人。Isn't that okay? 人ってそうも読めるじゃん。Akito can also be like read as Shujin.
Hi. It can also be read as that, right? Shujin.
Or just, can you
Oh,
repeat?
the shujin at the end of the sentence here is not part of the previous sentence. Akito te somo yomeru jan. So he says Akito, it can also be called that. Shujin, which I would say the shujin here is not really the that. It's more like he's just like saying the nickname, right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
it probably has both uses to some extent. 最古のおじいさん、3年前に死んでたんだよな。Psycho, your uncle died 3 years ago? 調べたんだ? Oh, you researched me? And this right here is for you, Anthony.
近所だから、最高値のおじいさんが死んだのは親が知ってた。それが漫画家川口だろうってのは知らなかったけど、近所だ。It's because he lives near. 最高値のおじいさんが死んだのは親が知ってた。It's because my father knew Psycho's knew about the Psycho's uncle's death.
Hi, what does oya
So,
mean?
Oya means like old man or
It
parents.
doesn't. Parents. Hi. Like Ryoshin no
Yes.
oya. Hi, hi.
それが漫画家川口だろうってのは知らないかったけど、
はい、知らなかった。
それが、that I don't, however, I don't know that mangaka Kawaguchi Taro.
Correct. This is the I of the sentence is not mentioned. But do you see how this is in this bubble over here and that this is in a separate bubble? To some extent, this insinuates that this is a paragraph. Like there are exceptions to this, of course, but the idea is that this is one bubble should kind of have one idea, kind of follows that same idea of paragraphs. So because of that, the previous sentence ended with oya ga shitteita. Ga marks the subject. And since there's no subject in the second sentence, like no like new subject, we can assume we're still talking about the oya, the parents. My parents knew that Saiko's family's uncle died. However, my parents did not know that he was the mangaka known as Kawaguchi Taro. Hi. So next will be for me. Pen name だからな. It's because it's a pen name. 本名は真っ白信弘. His real name was Mashiro Nobuhiro. どっかの新聞の片隅だけで漫画家志望で載ったらしい. It seems like the only place that wrote that the only place that had this kind of information was that there was a newspaper with a small little area that had a little in the corner that said a mangaka has died, with his name. So that's the only way you could possibly find out. Doesn't even say his pen name for that. Next bubble is for you, Anthony.
漫画家なんて連載 連載してなきゃ、ただのニート。漫画家なんて、What's 連載?
Renzai is serialization.
Okay.
It's going to be picked up by a
漫画家なん
publishing
て
company.
連載してなきゃ。So such a thing as like a mangaka, 連載してなきゃ。If they don't like serialize ただのニート, he's like just another simple other neat.
Hi, he says, yeah, he's just saying he's just saying, mangaka, he called them. He wasn't even serialized. He just was a neat, just was a loser who stayed in his house all day. そのニット状態が何年も続けば首を吊りたくなっても不思議じゃない。When you're in need with that kind of like situation happening the whole time, then if that continues for 7 years of not being serialized, then it wouldn't be strange at all if he decided to kill himself. Disatsuka, did he kill himself? And the next bubble here is for you, Anthony.
親は殺して、言って、殺して言ってたけど、7年も、もうろくに仕事なかったのに、過労はないだろう。親は殺し。Death by overwork. They said that he died being overworked. And then more Rokuni. What's Rokuni?
So Roku doesn't really matter in this context. It he just says 何年も仕事なかった.
Even in like 7 years, he didn't have any work.
Exactly.
過労はないだろう. So he didn't like really overwork.
Yeah, you can't overwork if you don't have any work,
Right.
is what he's saying. So, roku is a hard word to kind of explain. It basically means good, is the basic meaning. But it's only ever used with a nai, so it is only ever used in the context of saying not good. So, nothing good ever happens to me would be an example when you could use roku. So it's a not good. And then ni is here to turn rokuna into a adverb because they're just describing the nakatta rather than describing the shigoto. So if you said rokuna shigoto nakatta, that would have meant he didn't have any good jobs. But instead, it's more like saying he didn't have any jobs, kind of making it sound like any-ish. There was nothing happening with the job situation, basically, rather than the job itself being good or not. やっぱり漫画家なんてやめるか? Well, do you really want to quit being a mangaka? 主人が自分で首吊るってのも面白いけどな. Well, I think it'd be quite interesting if Shujin decided to unalive himself. Next bubble is for you, Anthony.
もっとも、お前がやめても俺はやる。もっとも is or, right? Like, what's もっとも?
I'd probably translate it as moreover in this context. Motto
Okay,
means more
moreover.
and mo means even. So motto mo, even more.
Okay, even more. Oh my god, やめても俺はやる。Oh my god, やめても even if you like stop, I'll still like continue doing it.
Exactly. Perfect. いや、俺もやるよ。サイコと組んで日本一の漫画家になる。No, I'm also gonna do it. If I team up with Psycho, I will definitely become the number one mangaka in Japan. And next bubble is for you, Anthony.
だから俺はお前と組むって決めてねって。That's why as for me, お前 joining up with you is is already like decided. It's decided. 決めてる。
はい。So, what does ne mean? 待ってね。
Asking for like confirmation,
Ne
or
can, but we have this te here. So it doesn't really make sense to have a ne than a
nai.
quotation te. Instead, this te, yeah, it's ne for nai, especially since it's long like that.
Okay.
So the dakara here, because, is not a because for the next sentence, it's a because for the previous sentence. The previous sentence is not
Ah,
mentioned in the sentence, so you have to kind of guess in context what he's saying the because for. In this context, he's basically saying, I already said this. I already said this is what he's saying here, but literally it is the word because. But it's because of the previous idea of already saying something. The thing he already said was, 俺はお前と組んで決まってね. So what did he say?
it's already been decided that we will both be
What
like
does
joint.
ne mean?
I didn't. Nai.
No, so it has not
Yes.
been decided.
It's been decided.
So the
Oh wait,
opposite.
who's like talking here? Psycho.
Hi,
Is
Psycho
it
is
Psycho?
talking here.
Oh, okay.
Both of these boys use ore, so there's no real way to tell just by looking at like the personal pronoun being used. They use the same one, but you have to kind of use context clues. This arrow right here, if you follow it straight, kind of hits him more than it hits that guy. If this guy was talking, they probably would have put the bubble down here to go like that, or
I
possibly
see.
like move them around a bit. So you kind of have to
Oh,
say, since this bubble like here is like this, contextually we know it's this guy, but it's also closer to him. So it makes more sense that if you're going to assign bubbles to people, you'd assign that to him, and then this guy to this guy. And then this copies the same style as that. So you can kind of assume there's a back and forth going on here. Since since these two lack the speech bubbles, the speech tails. Versus right here, we got speech tails for both sections to make it more obvious the same guy is talking.
I see.
So yeah, hasn't been decided.
So it hasn't been
ま
decided.
たそれかよ。最高をやめる気にさせるの俺だろ? So he says, what? You're still going on like that? Um, it's I am the one who decided to make Psycho want to do this. お前じゃなくて Azuki. He said, you didn't make me want to do this. Azuki did. And the next bubble here goes to you, Anthony.
感謝はしてるよ。恋のキューピッド。主人公。感謝はしてる。してるよの。してるよ。恋のキューピッド。It's like saying, I give you my thanks. Shooting of the cube of the love's cupid of love.
Perfect. That's exactly what he's saying. And then we are now in the classroom. Guys so fast. And he goes, Azuki. He speaks about Azuki. And then the teacher says, Hai, hajimete, which is, okay, start. いつも通りの Azuki. 今日のあんなことあったのに. He says, man, it's Azuki's acting just like usual, even though that thing happened yesterday. Oops. This top panel up here, it's going to go to you, Anthony.
夢が叶った。叶ったら、夢が叶ったら結婚してください。わかった。約束する。夢が叶うまではお互いよそ見せずに頑張るの。So the first problem is 夢が叶ったら if we're going to like grant the dream, 結婚してください. If the dream gets granted, then let's get married. Please marry me or something.
Yeah, please get married.
Yeah, please marry. わかった。約束する。I understand. I promise. 夢が叶うまでは until that dream completes or been granted. お互い予想見せずに we'll both work hard towards that you know, that expectation or yosomi. I don't know what yosomi
So
is. I forgot.
miru is to look. So the
See,
yoso is
yes.
like, so he's basically saying we won't visit each other. Without seeing each other, we'll try our best, is what it's saying. No,
Oh,
like, side hanging out with each other or anything.
あ
あずきは声優に、僕が漫画家に、夢、結婚、あのあずきと結婚. So he says, so Azuki will become a voice actress. I'm going to become a mangaka in our dream. Marriage with that Azuki, we're getting married. Doki 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 doki. Ah, ダメだ. Oh, it's no good. Sensei, Nanda Mashiro. Teacher, what do you need, Mashiro? Next bubble here is for you, Anthony.
気分悪いので、2時間目まで保健室で休んでていいですか？ Is it okay if I take take a 2 hour 2時間目
So
2
meh
hour
here is as a counter that is counting class periods. So the different periods in your school schedule.
okay. So 2 periods?
Yes.
So I say, okay. So is it okay if I rest for 2 periods in the in the infirmary?
Yes.
Since I have like I feel bad.
Exactly. Perfect. あいつ、
Yeah.
昨日眠なかったんだろうな. That guy probably did not sleep at all last night. 確かに顔色悪いな。追試に回してもいいぞ. It's like, well, your face definitely doesn't look very good. You know, you can take a retake exam if you want. And next bubble here is for you, Anthony.
いえ、半分はできてるので、これでいいです。半分はでき、これでいいです。no, 半分はでき、I can do it half. Wait.
You're right, this is I can do it, but just use past tense here in English. I've done.
I'm done. これでいいです。This is okay since I've done it like I've already done half of it.
Exactly. Perfect. マシル君、どうしたんだろう大丈夫かな
Oh my
I wonder what's up with Mashida-kun. I hope he's okay. 先生、僕も昨日徹夜で勉強してめまいがするんでいいっすか? So he says, teacher, me as well. Last night I stayed up all night studying, so my eyes are getting kind of busy, so is it okay if I do that? 本当はいっぱい寝たけど. Well, I actually slept all night, but I'm not saying that out loud. Next panel here is for you, Anthony.
テストは終わってます。なんだ、高木君がしょうがない。As for the test, I've already like finished it. What is that? Even Takagi Moon, Takagi. I guess it can't be helped.
Hi, perfect. Mashiru-kun to Takagi-kun. So it's Mashiro and Takagi-kun. Sensei, watashi mo, nante. I should say, me too, teacher. Giggle, giggle, giggle. The rest of this page is going to go to you, Anthony.
Okay, wait. 何高木もすみません。寝不足でちょっとベッド karimasu. What? Even Takagi? Um, uh, uh, sorry, 寝不足でちょっとベッド借りました. I'll just be like, I didn't like sleep. I have like insufficient sleep, so I'll just take the bed. I'll just borrow the bed a bit for a bit. Takagi?
Perfect. We're gonna pause here since Cookie wasn't able to
Oh,
make it,
okay.
and it kind of makes sense because it's like, okay, we're in a new scene. Makes it a little bit easier for him to pop in, I think, that way. Any
Okay.
questions before we go?